is Miss Sanders, and I'm the principal at McKinley Elementary School. We are so excited to have you here next year. We thought we'd give you a little tour of our building so you know where to go on the first day of school. So every morning you come into the building through these 4 doors. There's a little patio out front so you can wait quietly with your friends or read a book. At 7:40, we will all join in the gym together and we'll come in and take a look. We serve breakfast every morning starting at 7:15, and then everyone sits in their classroom lines and they sit quietly reading a book or practicing their spelling words or working on their math until their teachers come at 7:50. In this room, you also have PE and lunch. It's a great room. We call it the cafegimatorium. Let's move down the hallway in our school. Down this hallway, this is an important hallway because this is the recess hallway. You get recess 3 times a day, in the morning, at lunch, and at the afternoon. And this is where some of our classes walk to get to our playground. On the other side of the recess hallway is our office door. Mrs. Polinsky and Mrs. Foth will be here in the office to help you out if you need anything. We also have Mrs. Hoover and Mrs. Foltz. They are our school nurses, and so they'll be happy to help you as well. Every day, if you're wondering what we're going to have for lunch or who's won our weekly awards, we'll have that information on our bulletin board here. And then as we move down the hallway, you have my office right here. If you ever need anything or you have any questions or you just want to tell me about something great that's happened, stop by and say hello. Across from my office is the counseling office, and Mr. Lebo or Mrs. Irk will be happy to help you if you need some support. Don't forget that you can bring your water bottle to school every day. We have 3 water bottle filling stations in our building, and so you can fill those up as we go throughout our day. At McKinley, we also have the after-school program called ABC. If your parents sign you up, when you come after school, you have an opportunity to get your homework done, to work on anything that you have for school, and also to meet new friends. ABC meets in this room at the end of our day, and Miss Leiby and her staff will be here to help you out. We have 5 second grade classrooms in our building. We have Mrs. Laux, Mrs. Meyer. We also have Mr. Lindenberger, Mrs. Cook, and Miss Gomez. And we'll show you those classrooms as we go through the hallway. One exciting thing about McKinley is that we are a National Blue Ribbon School. We got that award in 2016, and that means that this school is a great place to learn and meet new friends. Some of our students will come to visit Mrs. Walters, and Mrs. Walters and Mrs. Ray and Miss Leiby, they run our title reading program, and they're here to help you learn strategies and tips and tricks to become a better reader. They're really great. Around the hallway here, we have a little poster that says, "Be the I in kind," and that's what we want you to do at McKinley. Just like at your last school, if you went to Kennedy, we asked you to be respectful, be responsible, and be your best self. That's what we want you to do in all of our schools in this district. Twice a week, you will get to come to art or music, and you will get to practice being a fantastic artist and work on your music skills, and we hope you like those classrooms as well. I know Mrs. Christner and our art teacher will be really excited to see you, and Mr. Willie is our PE teacher, and he'll be excited to see you this year. We have Mrs. Stuber, and she is our librarian. In the mornings when you come to school, if you have books to exchange, you can go to the library and exchange your books for a new book, and Mrs. Stuber will meet with you twice a week, and you'll work on library information and keyboarding information. And then we have Mrs. Polinsky, and she's going to work with you twice every week on character education. She'll be talking about what it means to be a good friend. What does it mean to be empathetic? How can you be the best person and not be a bully? As we move down the hallway, we have several classrooms here of teachers that are our helper teachers. So we have speech services, and we have Mrs. Darling and Mrs. Lady, and they come every day to help kiddos get better at learning. And then finally, at the very end of our hallway, we have 4 extra classrooms, and we call this the new portion of McKinley Elementary School. That's because we have all sorts of new projects in this part of the building. And so just a quick reminder that we have a bathroom at this side of the hallway. We also have water fountains, so don't forget to fill up your water bottle. And then down at this end of the hallway, we have Mr. Lindenberger, who is one of our 2nd grade teachers, Miss Gomez. And Miss Gomez is a special teacher because we call her a looping teacher, and her class stays with her for a whole year. And then Mrs. Ralph is next to Mr. Lindenberger, and she's a 3rd grade looping teacher as well. And she will be a 2nd grade teacher this year. And then we have Mrs. Cook's class, who is a 2nd grade teacher. And then there's one last thing I wanted to share with you about McKinley. The great thing about McKinley is, if you haven't noticed, our building is in the shape of an L. And I think they built it that way because they wanted us to remember that when you're in this building, you're loved, you're learning, and you're very, very lucky to meet new people. So I challenge you to come up with a reason that our building was built in the shape of an L. Why do you think our building was built that way? Again, I think it's because you're loved here, you're learning, and you're really lucky to be a part of our school. We can't wait to see you. Have a wonderful summer. We will all come back to school on August 12th at 5:30, and you can come meet your teacher and see your classroom, and we'll be so glad to see you. Have a great summer.